Yo, what's going on Facebook and YouTube? This is your boy Raxx Cloud coming at you with Raxx City 314 with another podcast for 5/13/2020. Appreciate you joining me. Thanks for keeping it trill in the field. Let's go.
One, two. Gentlemen. But shizzle, dizzle.
What's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Rex McLeod coming at you with another Raxx City 314. I'm about to jump right into it. I appreciate you joining me for the night for this late show. We're going to go ahead and make the best out of what we got going on for the night. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to keep y'all long because I know that a lot of y'all be up trying to check your boy out and make sure that you're catching me on a fresh episode. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to keep you up for a long time because I know that your time is valuable. You understand what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you once again. All right. The word for the day is refulgence. All right. And it's a radiant or resplendent quality or state. All right. So we do those words of the day for you so you can definitely have something to add to um, that magical vocabulary that you got already. You know what I'm saying? So take full advantage of the word for the day. I definitely appreciate you paying attention for it. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to visit the Facebook page and the YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? Hit the notification bell so you can stay up on all the stuff that's going on regarding um, any of the podcasts that I'll be pushing out for you. And we're gonna get to some some actual numbers for the day, so that you can know what's going on with this COVID-19. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just making sure you all stay up to date on what's going on. So I'm gonna just focus on Missouri. We plus 135 with 10,404 cases. You know what I'm saying? St. Louis County is plus 22 with 1,571 cases, right? But we got a lot of people that's recovering, so that's a real good thing as usual. We always want to focus on, showing respect for those who lost their lives to it, and also showing reverence and respect to the people who have recovered from it because it's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's a big struggle. So we want to make sure that we up on all of that information so that you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't take away from the fact that it is a silent killer that's taking people out and getting people sick, have people scared. But everything has pretty much almost opened back up to an extent, and people are doing what they have to do to social distance, right, and stay safe. A lot of people wearing masks and things of that nature, which is a good thing. So we want to make sure that I encourage all of you guys to stay doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, Wisconsin's highest court overturns governor's stay-at-home order that extended most non-essential businesses closures through May the 26th, and that is coming from AP.com, well, APnews.com. So, in Madison, Wisconsin, pretty much the Wisconsin Supreme Court struck down Governor Tony Evers' coronavirus stay-at-home order on Wednesday, ruling that his administration overstepped its authority when it extended it for another month without consulting legislators. The 4-3 ruling essentially reopens the state, lifting caps on the size of gatherings, allowing people to travel as they please, and allowing shuttered businesses to reopen, including bars and restaurants. The Tavern League of Wisconsin swiftly posted the news on its website, telling members you can open immediately. The decision let stand language. It let stand a language that had closed schools. However, the local governments can still impose their own health restrictions. In Dane County, home to capital of Madison, officials quickly imposed a mandate incorporating most of the statewide order. City health officials in Milwaukee also said a stay-at-home order they enacted in late March remains in effect. All right. So some people or well, I would say some committees of certain industries are, overriding those uh, stay-at-home orders. You know, a lot of them are, doing what they got to do. They want to get back to business, but you have some that are saying, "Hey, we're not going back to business. We want people to stay down longer." So it's just up to these states on how they're going to do things. Also in New Mexico, they began to lift the restrictions, but will require face coverings in all public spaces starting Saturday as the state moves forward with the first phase of its reopening plan by Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. She's Democrat, and she said this on Wednesday. As the state opens up more and more and risk increases, the only way we can save lives and keep the gating criteria where it is if we uh, all wearing face covering. She said during briefings, this is not something we're used to or accustomed to, and she really wants us to do the right thing. Well, the people in their state, which should apply to everybody. So they want people to do the right thing. So protect yourselves, protect each other. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very important. Help continue to curb this virus. You all are doing a great job curbing this virus. Now we need to just lock down on the violence that's going on, senseless crimes that are going on in our communities. Parents, if you have any type of control over these youngsters that are out here riding around in cars, they're doing a lot of stupid things when it comes down to them driving in these cars. So you guys want to be a little strict on them because they're doing a lot of idiotic things. Yesterday, there was an accident at the corner of Kings Highway and Delmar. Someone was speeding down Kings Highway very, very fast, and they end up striking a young woman in her car, and they pretty much jumped out the car and hightailed it, just ran, and they didn't even know that they killed the lady in the car. Very, very tragic, and our hearts want to go out to all of those who are either family members or friends of that young lady who was brutally killed in that car accident. Our hearts go out to you, and just you all stick together and stay focused. Keep your minds on God. Everything should uh, pan out correctly for you all. We hope that they do catch the young man who hit your loved one, and hope justice comes to that. You know what I'm saying? It's very much needed because during what we got going on, a lot of people can't even have the type of funerals that we're accustomed to when sending people off just due to this COVID-19. So taking someone out due to stupidity or due to senseless acts of violence is definitely not something that we would like to be seeing at all because we can't even put the people that we love away the correct way. So definitely want to keep our minds and hearts uh, focused, sending a lot of positive energy to these people, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to keep these people uplifted because they need it. They really do need it. I know a lot of people personally who have lost people during this pandemic and they have not been able to do the correct things that they're accustomed to towards putting their loved ones away. Going into video recorded funerals where only a certain number of people can be there. And even going into the burials, people have to, keep a lot of social distancing. We all know that when funerals happen, losses happen, that people need to be, family and friends need to be up under each other, comforting each other, consoling each other, making sure that each other is okay. It's just a human interaction that we all can identify with. And when we're not able to do it, it causes a sense of confusion. It makes you feel distant from those that you love or become accustomed to love, have friendships with, and things of that nature. So it's not something that we definitely want to keep saying. So definitely talk to these family members, these children, these cousins, the brothers, sisters, everybody who that's prone to the street life. Tell them that they need to back down, calm it down, and figure out a different way. It's not all about being gangster and thug. and all of that. It's not about that right now. It's about, being a human, letting other people see that you are, a productive member of society. I mean, you don't have to, and I'm just putting this out there to everyone, you don't have to be a worker. You don't have to be, a person that goes to school. You don't have to be um, a person that has, um, a promising career, but to be a productive member of society, all it takes is love and concern and a willingness to want to do right by others. And that's what it takes to be a productive member of society. Okay, so definitely do your part, talk to the next person, let them know if you see that opportunity to intervene and be that role model, to be that voice. Do what you have to do to encourage that person, all right? Because sometimes there are people that look up to you, and when you don't say anything, they definitely will continue on doing them. Sometimes if you just step to the side and go ahead and let them know what's going on and how you feel, it could change their entire world. It could change lives. You know what I'm saying? So always remember that you have the power to change lives. You just have to open your mouth. And you have to talk. You have to be vocal. You have to not be afraid to say something. Not be afraid of how people will perceive you as a person that's pushing positivity, because this definitely something that's needed. I fell victim to being a negative person in the past at some points in my life, making decisions that I knew were going to have heavy backlashes, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to realize that, hey, I can dial back, make amends, you know, and work the steps that it takes towards building uh, um, a successful relationship with others, to showing people that, hey, it's not all about this, it's not all about that. You have to be able to bounce back. If you can't bounce back, then, you have no buoyancy in your life. That means that you're just flat. It's no way that you can propel forward. You're always going to stay stagnant. You're going to stay in one area that is not going to allow you to move anywhere else. You're going to stay stuck in the epicenter. When it comes to positivity, you want to be able to be um, like a pandemic. You want to be able to pan out and reach others. That type of positivity should be contagious. It should be something that is infectious, that moves to others. You don't want to have it stuck in one area. So you can kind of see how COVID-19, you can kind of take away the virus, put positivity right there, and that's how your positivity should be moving. All right. It can definitely move from person to person. All right. It can be something that's everlasting in somebody's mind that will make them want to push it on to the next person. Think about how crime happens and you find out about it. And the story is something that has you just compelled. You want to tell other people when you see them about the story. Like the story with the young man that was jogging Mr. Arbery. It's like the story touched a lot of people, and they wanted to tell others about it, even those that hadn't heard anything about it. They wanted them to know about it. So it's very, very important that um, you know first have accurate information, accurate facts. You want to be able to know that when you're telling somebody something, that it's going to resonate the right way to them, so that they can grasp the thought, they can grasp the idea of where you're coming from, and be able to radiate that information and that knowledge to others. Because if it's something that really, really moves you, it should be able to move the next person. And those hues of that aura will be something that people will be able to see, and they'll want to engage you. They'll want to know exactly what you got for them. And your words can be that powerful to change someone else. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it starts with your family. So that's why I said talk to the people in your families, let them know that these things are not, uh, the negative part of society, the things that they want to take in and say, hey, I want to do this just because, they see drug dealers doing it, or they see other criminals doing things. They want to be big and bad. We got a lot of people that do music and, do other things of entertainment. And the industry has put out there that, you have to fit this certain criteria just so you can make it. And we're in St. Louis, so half the time, a lot of our rappers end up dead. They end up dead because they're going about things the wrong way. We have these lyricists, but they can get their message across, but they always feel that, yo, my lifestyle has to fit these words. When it's like, no, you don't. You're an entertainer, so you have to make sure that you're entertaining. And entertaining could be fun. It could be positive. You can have a message where you're educating someone. It doesn't really mean that it has to be your lifestyle, but you can be educating someone on how not to end up in certain situations by your storytelling. You can, a lot of people who write books, who write poems and things of that nature, they're telling you stories. They're telling you things that will have your mind working and have you thinking. It doesn't mean that they actually went through it, but it's something to put on your mind for you to think. Most people read the Bible. A lot of people have not went through all of the scenarios that can happen in the Bible, but it doesn't mean that you can't take the stories that come from the Bible, apply them to your life, and actually see that, hey, I don't have to go through this. I don't have to go through that. If I steer clear of this, then I can have this type of outcome. So it could be things to encourage a person, to educate a person, and game a person, if you want to say that. You know, the most gain that you can get comes from the manuals that was laid before us so that we can have basic instructions before leaving earth. So it helps us live a better life while we're here on this planet, while we're here in this physical form, so that we can make it to the next day, so that we can help others make it to the next day. And that's the most important part about this whole scenario. So definitely reach out to your community, talk to others, and be the light that other people need. Because if you don't see yourself being a light, everyone around you is most likely going to have some form of darkness that surrounds them. So you got to think about that. You're the darkness if you're not trying to be the light. All right. Now, to let you all know, Harvard Medical School announces its virtual fall semester for entering classes of medical, dental, and graduate students will most likely be accommodated by virtual classes, and they don't really know when those classes will intervene, but there are delays regarding it. So I would definitely tell any of you that are planning on going to school or anything like that that you're going to be looking forward to some delays, but do what you have to do to, get your education. All right. Now, you're going to listen for instructions from your local government about staying home, keep a safe distance from others, clean hands often, disinfect frequently, touch surfaces at home. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth. Cover coughs and sneezes with your elbow or tissue, along with following other tips. Cover mouth and nose in public with a cloth face mask. All right. Just remember that just because you feel well and you can go out in public and feel like, hey, I'm not going to get anybody sick, just remember that there are other people that could be sick that may not have a mask on. So you just want to kind of protect yourself. You want to protect others around you. All right. Now, the LA mayor orders masks to be worn outdoors. County sets no end date for the stay-at-home rules, but eases more restrictions. And this is happening in LA. So apparently they definitely know that it can get very crowded outside. People can definitely forget the fact that social distancing is something that they need to be practicing. So they want them to be wearing face masks and things of that nature so they don't forget. It can, that face mask is a sign, all right? It's a sign that, hey, you want to stay away. So it's kind of like remember the song Bag Back. Give me 50 feet. Give me 50 feet. What? Give me 50 feet. That face mask is basically the sign saying, hey, bag back. Give me my 6 feet. Like, give me my 6 feet, please. All right. So you don't want to meet the hater with the heat. All right. Now, a new inflammatory condition in children probably linked to coronavirus. Study finds that it is similar to the Kawasaki disease. It doesn't mean that it is the Kawasaki disease, but it does say that it is similar to the Kawasaki disease. We do have a lot of nurses who have said that it's the Kawasaki disease have been out, but a lot of them haven't really read those stories to know that these articles are saying that it's similar, that it's very similar. So um, become familiar with a lot of these diseases that they're talking about, especially if you had kids, so you can know exactly what to be looking for if your kids start displaying any types of these symptoms. Because it's very, very important that you want to know what these symptoms are at all times, because they are symptoms that could definitely cause certain issues for your loved ones. You know, you just don't want that to be something that you're faced with. You know, looking down at your kid when you know your kid is depending on you for safety and for the love and comfort that they need to have. All right, because being in the hospital can be very scary for a child. All right, because you have to think about the things that they see when it's pertaining to. Um, when it's pertaining to a hospital. When they watch movies, most of the time when you enter a hospital, you're dying or something is going on when you're in the hospital. So it can be very, very frightening for kids. So definitely do your part and make sure kids are okay. Visit the elderly, make sure you're talking down people with anxieties, let them know that they're not machines, they are human, they are allowed to have feelings and emotions. And it's up to you to be a helper one to another and let them know that, hey, uh, everyone goes through things and know how to talk them down, make them feel good. You know what I'm saying? In Washington, President Donald Trump on Wednesday criticized comments Dr. Anthony Fauci made during the congressional hearing about the risk of reopening the county too soon as not an acceptable answer. He was surprised by his answer, actually, because, to him, it's not an acceptable answer, especially when it comes to schools. Trump said during a meeting Wednesday afternoon with the North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum and Colorado Governor Jared Polis in the cabinet room of the White House. He wants to play all sides of the equation, Trump said of Fauci before emphasizing his confidence that the economy would quickly rebound from the coronavirus pandemic. And Trump said he thinks that we're going to have a tremendous fourth quarter. I will say this regarding Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci received a lot of he received a lot of kudos, and he received a lot of what can I say? A lot of people jocking him, boasting him up. And he quickly went from a person that was advising about the pandemic to talking about the economy and talking about other things, really making it him seem like he could run for office. And that's just not his position. That's not something that he was there for. That was not Dr. Fauci's position. So he quickly went into going from a doctor to working the political aspect of things regarding the pandemic. And, that kind of messes with other people's jobs. It kind of gives a false impression. I know I was getting a false impression by him because I was like, hey, maybe he should be running against Donald Trump, the president. And I'm pretty sure Donald Trump felt the same way. Like, hey, why is this guy trying to run against me? So, in that token, so it definitely gave me that impression that he could have tried to pull off running against him because Joe Biden is going down, and it kind of looks like it'll leave a position open. Joe Biden had that sexual assault situation, so accusation. So something that we definitely got to be watching out for. Okay. Seems like some more information came up about the information regarding the uh, Aubrey situation down in Brunswick, Georgia, the jogger. And it seems like another video had came up regarding this young man and his situation regarding him going into another home, like he went into a home before that jog and kind of makes you see think that maybe it wasn't a job or maybe he was just running away. That's how they portray in that video, but it does not warrant the fact that these men are going to do a citizen arrest and end up killing this young man. Especially when there wasn't just one person, there was three people. You know, two people riding in one vehicle and then a person recording. And as we clearly heard from the recording, that the man who was doing the recording had cocked his gun as well. So, you know, we don't know what to think about that, except the fact that they had it intended in their minds that if this man did not submit to them, that they were going to kill him anyway. And it doesn't help anymore that, you know, pictures are surfacing of this the McMichaels, the father, being part of the Ku Klux Klan. So it's definitely something that makes you wonder that why do they make us such a target when it comes down uh, to when they want to push crime? You know, take crime into their own hands, I should say, and take justice into their own hands. It always leads to the person that they're going after dying. And we're just tired of it. It's something that we're not looking forward to keep seeing on a daily basis. And we don't want to keep seeing our own taking each other out. You know, we don't want to see our own keep doing these crimes. You know, we have we have a 7 year old on the south side of St. Louis that had uh, I want to say he either got something happened to him. I saw the story a couple of days ago, and you know I was doing something else, but I saw the story and it said the 7 year old was a home burglar. Like he uh, went into someone's home and he was going to do a home invasion. 7 year old, and you know I don't know whether he got killed or arrested. I'm gonna have to really check back into it, but I did see that story and it just struck me like, are we serious? Did this seriously happen? So I didn't really take it serious because I didn't think that really happened. It was like, no way, 7 year old. But you know, in this day and age, a lot of things happen, and it's just one of those things that have me wondering sometimes. So you definitely want to watch your kids, uh, talk to other people's kids. You know, it's time for the community to raise the community. All right, it takes a village to raise a child. And the reason I say that is because you can do everything you can to raise your child and teach them good morals. But the minute you let them outside the door into the community, amongst the villagers, they're learning everything that you did not teach them. And they can begin to pick and choose when they're not around you or how they're going to conduct themselves off what they learn. So if the community is teaching the same thing that the parents teaching in the household, then we know that this kid is not going to have a lot of stuff that they picked up along the way. It's going to have them, you know, laying side the roadside. So definitely want to do everything we can to watch out for each other. All right. All right, guys. Uh, T-shirts and other merchandise is coming soon, so please support. All proceeds go towards something useful. So please don't be cheap when the time comes. Uh, do support. I definitely appreciate you guys. For tonight, um, the Takachi Award that I want to give out. I do not need to call the digital authorities because this Takashi Award that I want to give out tonight, I don't know who the person is. And I will say this. I was at work tonight and I was walking across the street, made it to the building, and the car zoomed past so fast past my truck. And I was just like, oh man, why did this person have to drive past my truck like that, and there was already a vehicle right next to my truck, so they kind of jackknifed around them, and went into the other lane and came around. Then I'm looking like, wow, where are the police? Do you need them? Because these people are clearly they're stealing cars, tripping. I don't know, but they need to be on it. Next thing you know, like right behind them, probably a couple clicks back, police officer hit through the siren. Got to chasing them. And I was just sitting there like, man, we can't just sit down and just be calm and relax. It's making us have a bad look, especially those of us who do not do anything to bring about that type of attention. So I would like to give a Takashi award to the young man who was driving down Winnebago. You are definitely a stupid idiot. Um, if you're just if something's going on where you need to be driving at 50, 60 miles per hour down the street, knowing you can hit any of those kids who cross the street going from stores, going to their friends' houses, any of that, and in their lives because of your reckless driving, man, I could definitely tell you that on today you have a problem and you deserve that Takashi Award. Everyone in the neighborhood needs to get together and make you a straight jacket and put you in it, tie behind your back, and just let you roam through. I mean, let you roam free through the meadows of Duntsville because you just deserve to have your own little space where you're running through. All right. You and the guy who hit the lady in Delmar Kings Highway and killed her brutally with your car wreck. Both of you guys need to be out there together, running with each other. Hopefully, you two guys will get into a very meaningful relationship with each other because you're definitely two stupid idiots and you deserve everything that comes to you. All right. Now, I thank all of you who have joined me for tonight for this late show episode. I do appreciate you all for your time. I appreciate you all for your support. Um, I just want to tell you all have a great night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. If they do, get your shoe, hit them to the black and blue, take those sheets, go disinfect them, clean them, wash them, drain them in bleach, like drown them. Just do everything you can. Clean them, you know, and have you a magnificent night. This is your boy Rex McLeod signing out. You all have a great night. I will see you all tomorrow for another podcast. This is your homie, your friend, your cousin, your favorite podcast guru signing out.